2.4, composition of transformations. That means we're going to do one and then another one. That's all that means. So instead of these other sections where you just reflected or you just rotated, this is going to be one and then something else right after that. So we usually had a prime, so now you're going to have a double prime. That's the only difference, okay? Composition of transformations is one transformation followed by another, like I just said. A glide reflection is a translation, then a reflection. What's a translation again? What's another word for that? A slide, right? And then a reflection, okay? Reflections over parallel lines, a translation that is twice the distance between the lines. So if you look at this, if I reflect triangle XYZ over this line, that's my 1 prime. And if I reflect it again over this line, that's my double prime, right? So the distance from the first one to the last one is twice the distance between the parallel lines. So for example, if this is 2 inches apart, then the first one and the last one are 4 inches apart. Does that make sense? Okay. Reflections over intersecting lines. A rotation at an angle twice the measure of the acute or the right angle. So again, for example, if I rotate this so many degrees over here, I rotate it again over here, then that's twice the original one. So like if I was rotating it at 30 degrees, then my final answer would be at 60 degrees. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, graph each figure with the given vertices in its image after the indicated glide reflection. So what they're saying is go ahead and graph triangle DFG. Everybody can do that. You don't need help. So 2, 8 is right to 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, there's D. 1, 2 is F. 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 5, 6. Bless you. G. Connect the dots the best you can. Oof. It's a little rough, but it's okay. Everybody all right with that? So the next thing they want you to do is translate it along the vector 3, 3. So if you're algebraic, you're going to add 3 to all the x's and 3 to all the y's, write it down, and then graph it. If you're graphic, you're going to go right 3 and up 3. Does that make sense? I'm algebraic, so I'm going to just add 3 to everything. So I'm going to end up getting d prime is where? If you add 3 to this and you add 3 to that, you get 511. So like I would do this and then I would graph it, but some of you might go right 3 up 3 and then tell me where it was. Does that make sense? So I'm going to get 4, 5 and 7, 9. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that one. Is all red okay with you guys? Can you see it that way? Or do you want me to do a different color? Okay. 5, 11. Let's see here. I'm just going to go right 3 up 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. D prime. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. G prime. Make sure you're labeling. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. F prime. Is that okay? Okay, so check. So now we're going to reflect it in the line y equals x. I still have, nope, I don't have those up, just kidding. So the line y equals x, the rule is x comma y from, I think, 2 sections ago, I'm not sure, changes to y comma x. That's one of them that I made you memorize, okay? So the one I just did is the one that I'm moving. So I'm now going off of these ordered pairs, right? So 5, 11 is going to turn into 11, 5. Everybody okay with that? Okay. And then the 4, 5, 5, 4, and the 7, 9, 9, 7. So for me, it's easier to do the algebra and then graph that.
If the reflection was like reflection and x equals y, would we still do the same thing?
X equals y and y equals x is the same, yes. Yep. They usually put the y first whenever we're graphing a line. Y equals x is a line, but it's the same rule. Yep. So now I'm going to graph that one at 11, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's D double prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. F double prime. And 9, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. G double prime. Do you guys see that the G and the D flipped, right? So if I graph the line y equals x, That's this line. You don't have to, I just want to show you. So this first one was just a slide, right? This one was a reflection over that line. That's why G and D like flipped places, because I reflected it. Does that make sense? So on your homework, your final answer is actually like the last one, the double prime, but I still want to see the prime. That way if you messed up, I can see where you messed up. Does that make sense? Okay. If it said to graph everything, you need to graph everything anyway. All right? Anyone still need that? Okay. Graph each figure with the given vertices and its image after the indicated composition of transformations. So again, this time we're not graphing like a triangle like before. We're graphing just a line segment, so a W and an X. So go ahead and put W and X where they are and label them. So negative 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. W and negative 4, 1, X. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is reflect it in the x-axis. If you reflect it in the x-axis, you change the sign on the y. Very good. So if it was negative 4, 6, what is it now? Negative 4, negative 6, right? If x was negative 4, 1, what's x prime? Negative 4, negative 1, right? Or if you're more visual, if you're reflecting it over the x-axis, here's the x-axis, right? So if x is 1 above, I'm going to go 1 below, if you prefer to do it that way, right? And if W was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 above the x-axis, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 below the x-axis. Everybody okay? Make sure you put primes on those. So check, I've done that, okay? And now I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees about the origin. That's still up on the board, but we're going to write it down so you have it in your notes. So x, y changes to negative y comma x. For some of you guys, that's still kind of hard to do. So what you might want to do is just go ahead and change the sign on the y and then flip the order, if that's easier. So we're going off the ones I just did. I'm not going off the original shape here. It's not a shape, it's a line, but still. So negative 4, negative 6 is going to turn into positive 6, negative 4. Do you guys get that? Okay. And then x double prime is going to be what? Change the sign on the y and flip them. 1, negative 4. Very good. Those rotations are not the kind that I would try to do graphically. I would memorize the, well, I guess not memorize it, but I gave it to you. But I would use the formula. I wouldn't try to like look at it and guess. That doesn't usually go well. So 6, negative 4. Right 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down 1, 2, 3, 4 is W double prime. And right 1, down 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. X double prime. Okay? Did I lose anybody? Pretty easy if you know the rules, right? Anybody have a question? Okay. Last one. This is a freehand drawing. So again, I'm not going to make you get out a ruler, okay? It says copy and reflect figure D, so this triangle here, in line M, so over line M first, and then over line P. Does everybody understand that? So if I were to fold my paper over line M, these two shapes would kiss. And then if I were to fold my paper over line P, these two shapes would kiss. That's the plan, okay? So it's not going to be perfect. Just do your best, something like that. This D prime, that's the first one, right? And then if I reflect that over P, on yours it should overlap. My picture's not great. So in a second I'll have you guys look at mine. But on mine, these two overlapped. Like your triangle was bigger. Let me maybe draw my own. Your triangle looked more like, like that. So when you reflected it over here, it looked more like this. Ooh, that's not a triangle. More like this. Does yours go over the second line? It should a little bit. I'll show you guys mine in a second. And then when you reflect it, it then reflects back over the line like this. So give me a second. Mine is too small, so mine definitely doesn't touch the line. Oh, yours is mine. That's right. That's right. I forgot this is a different set of notes. Okay, that's fine. I'll just stick with the original picture then. Hold on. I do want to show you guys mine though, my original notes that I didn't put in this program because I want to show you that sometimes they can overlap and that's okay. So just kidding, I forgot you guys have the exact same thing I have. So let me try that again. Okay, so ours isn't going to touch the line and that's fine. So let me go back here. That's fine, D prime, right? And then over here it's going to look, something like this. You see how I flipped it? So the point of this question is that because this is 2 centimeters away, and it's parallel lines, this is going to be 4 centimeters if I were to actually measure it. Okay? But I do want to show you guys mine. So when we're done, I'll call you over a road at a time and show you what I'm talking about. Did I lose anybody other than the last picture? Because yours looks like mine. Okay.